Welcome to the Chapter 10 training on Family Style Meal Service. This training is presented by the Oregon Department of Education Child Nutrition Programs, also known as ODE CNP. In this training, we will go over the definition of Family Style Meal Service, the benefits of the style, the requirements, how to implement, some best practices, and common questions. After this training, we hope you will understand the basics of Family Style Meal Service and know how to implement Family Style Meal Service appropriately. Family Style Meal Service is defined as a style of meal service where participants are allowed to serve themselves from communal bowls, pitchers, and platters. The participants sit at a table with a supervising adult, and all required meal components are placed on the table at the same time in the communal bowls, pitchers, and platters. The minimum portion sizes of all meal components for all participants at the table are provided in the communal servingware. Some of the benefits of family style include allowing participants to choose how much food to take and what to eat. This helps participants to learn self-regulation and how to listen to their hunger signals. In addition, passing food around and asking for food items help with the development of multiple social and motor skills. It encourages participants to have conversations with each other and to learn from each other. Altogether, it fosters a sense of community between the participants and with the staff at the tables. To meet family style requirements, the full portions of each required component must be on the table. If the supervising adults at the table are taking part in the meal, there must be extra portions for those supervising adults as well. The goal is for all participants to potentially have enough to meet a full minimum portion size of each required component. The expectation is for participants to serve themselves. While some participants may need help, if a supervising adult ends up helping, the minimum portion must be provided to the participant. A supervising adult must always be seated at the table. This is to ensure the safety of all participants and to allow the adults to encourage participants to try different foods and provide guidance on mealtime behavior. The point of service meal count must only be taken when all meal components are placed at the table and participants are all seated. Implementing family style is a multi-step process. First, make sure that the food is delivered to the dining area within half an hour of meal service time at the proper holding temperatures. Once delivered, participants should be directed to wash their hands and get ready to be seated. All meal components must be placed on the table with the minimum portion sizes for all participants and supervising staff, along with all the tableware needed for the meal. Participants are encouraged to help set the tables, and once everyone is seated at the table with at least one supervising adult at each table, one of the supervising staff will take a point of service meal count for each participant at the table who is eligible for a reimbursable meal. Point of service meal counts must be taken before children leave the table. Food should be passed around for participants to self-serve. Encourage participants to try all foods, and if staff sees that a participant did not try a food or only took a small portion, they can gently encourage them to take more. It is important to never force a participant to take an item if they do not want it. Once the meal is done, clean the table and encourage participants to wash their hands again. As a best practice, it's a good idea to use the right tableware and servingware for the age group that is served. Younger children will have smaller hands and less strength, so smaller pitchers and bowls may be needed. It's also important to encourage all participants to try the different food items, and if there are some items that are especially popular, Let the participants know that they should share and let others have a chance to try the food before they take seconds. If a participant does not take a full portion, encourage them to take more later, but never force a participant to eat anything they do not want. The supervising adults should be the role models of good mealtime behavior. Always encourage the supervising adults to eat with the children if this is within your organization's policies and procedures, and make sure to provide extra amounts or extra portions so that participants still get enough for the minimum portions. Have some extra utensils on hand in case some are dropped. Dropped tableware should never be used. Finally, always reinforce the importance of hand washing. Hand washing is vital before meals and a good practice after. There are several common questions when it comes to family-style meal service. The first question is, how do I prevent spreading germs while implementing family-style meal service? Although family-style is communal, it doesn't mean that germs have to be communal too. Here are some best practices that help to reduce the spread of germs. Make sure everyone washes their hands before coming to the table. The center should implement a strong sick participant policy and enforce it. If you do have participants who are not feeling well but aren't being sent home, make sure that staff are serving those participants their full minimum portion sizes. During cold season, it can be helpful to use more bowls to prevent passing them through too many hands. Always reinforce the use of serving spoons and scoops, and make sure there's enough of them for all the communal bowls. And as always, never use drop utensils or dirty utensils. It may be a good idea to have a stash of extras in each dining space. Another common question is that the minimum required portions make the bowls too heavy for the participants to pass around. What can they do? In these situations, it would make sense to use smaller bowls or plates and having multiple bowls or plates per table. This makes the bowls lighter and participants don't have to pass the bowls too far. Another option is to use lighter materials, plastic instead of ceramics and glass, or even baskets for things like bread or whole fruits. One question we get frequently has to do with space. There's not enough room on the table for all the communal bowls and pitchers. What can we do? If this is an issue that crops up frequently at your site, one way to troubleshoot this is to get a table extender or rolling cart to make sure that all food is within arm's reach. You want the participants to be able to see that there is more food available, and this will make it easy to grab more items as you need. While it technically isn't on the table, it is close enough to be within reach and available for the participants. Another option is to use smaller communal bowls and pitchers. While this may cause you to have more items on the table, they may fit on the table better than larger bowls. Occasionally, you may have some participants that take very large portions, and that means there's not enough for everyone else at the table. How do you make sure that every participant gets enough to eat? There's multiple ways to tackle this, but one way is to have staff start conversations at the table to emphasize sharing with everyone and talk about how we want to make sure everyone gets to try the different foods. Using this in tandem with staff modeling what a proper portion size looks like can be helpful. The participants often look to the adults for guidance, so it can be helpful for the supervising adults to start the meal by scooping a proper portion before passing it on to the next person. If that does not work, it can be helpful to use more bowls. Separate out the portions so that they start from different sides. Having less foods in the bowls may help some participants to take less. One very simple, although not necessarily cost-effective way is to simply provide extra portions. If this is within the budget, it may be helpful for kitchens to add extra portions for favorite food items like lasagna or blueberries. Basic information on family style meal service is available in handout form. The link to this handout is available in the description section below this video. This is a helpful resource when teaching frontline staff. Now it's time for a quick knowledge check. The Little Lambs preschool class has 3 lunchtime tables, but only 2 supervising teachers during lunchtime. Can the teachers seat the older and more responsible children at one table without a supervising adult? Yes or no? The answer is no. All participants must have a supervising adult at a table for family-style meal service. This is not only for safety reasons, but to ensure that participants are serving themselves adequately and appropriately. The supervisors are there to intervene if family-style meal service is not being implemented correctly. In this training, we defined family-style meal service. We looked at the benefits of using this meal service style, the requirements of family style, how to implement it, best practices, and some common questions. ODE supports equity and excellence for every learner. This institution is an equal opportunity provider. Thank you for taking this training.